Welcome. Today on BTR, I will be sharing my top 10 favorite sci-fi TV-based franchises. To be included on this list, the franchise must cover at least 3 seasons, and exemplify what it truly means to be part of the science fiction genre. Thus, said franchise cannot be primarily fantasy-based, so don't expect to see a whole lot of magic or dragons on this list. And of course, it goes without saying, spoilers ahead. Duh. Lists of this type are inherently relative in their nature. So as always, these are my expressed opinions. We'll start the list out at number 10. This will be an odd choice and probably criticized by a lot of you. Seaquest, DSV, aka Seaquest, aka Seaquest 2032. Forgive me in advance, I'm going to be saying Seaquest a lot. Seaquest is not only the show's name, but also the name of the submarine that we follow. Seaquest is a very episodic show, with no real continuity episode to episode, save a few minor standouts. Seaquest was the brainchild of Rock S. O'Bannon and debuted in 1993. It spanned 3 seasons with 57 episodes. Whether you're into tales about morality or time travel or aliens or even the occasional talking dolphin, yes, you heard me right, the talking dolphin, you may fall in love with Seaquest DSV. The show also covers a vast array of, quote, modern technologies for the day, such as the captain's holographic crisis counselor, or the technology that allows you to communicate with animals. Also, underwater habitats and genetic engineering. All of these things and more are featured on Seaquest DSV. A bit less controversial and a lot newer, coming in at number 9, is Falling Skies. Falling Skies was created by Robert Rodat and produced by Steven Spielberg in 2011. The show ran for 5 seasons, spanning 52 episodes. Falling Skies is a much more serial example of television, following a former history professor in a post-alien invasion reality where humans have been reduced to hiding and scavenging just to stay alive. In the series, we follow the newly reformed 2nd Massachusetts Militia Regiment as they struggle to survive and make their way out of Boston, and eventually to attempt to reform a government. The show features multiple alien races with their own agendas, own advanced technologies, but maintains an overall post-apocalyptic feeling to it. From child abductions by aliens that spawn telepathic communication between the children and one of the invading alien races, to historical quotes and stories, and acting veterans, this show has proven its right to be on my list. It is a true underdog story, and let's be honest, who doesn't love a good underdog? Number 8. Black Mirror. Black Mirror debuted in 2011 and was created by Charlie Brooker. This show is a modern-day Twilight Zone to me. It's very episodic, with a different cast and crew for almost every episode. It spans 4 seasons, with 19 current episodes, as of the making of this video. The episodic nature of Black Mirror allows it to tell stories surrounding what are currently very controversial topics. The show is highly cerebral, involving many moral and ethical dilemmas, as well as the dangers and benefits of the rise of technology in our current and future lives. I only have one caveat with Black Mirror, and that is, you should really skip Series 1, Episode 1. And if you're watching on Netflix, that will be the last one on the list. It's called National Anthem. Number 7. The only semi-fantasy show to make this list is Warehouse 13. Warehouse 13 debuted in 2009 and was created by Jane Espenson. The show was loosely based on Frank Mancuso Jr.'s and Larry B. Williams' Friday the 13th. It went for 5 seasons, spanning 64 total episodes. The show follows a team tasked with the job of locating and retrieving certain historical objects that often hold disruptive and sometimes dangerous abilities. Whether you are into steampunk, history, or just ethical dilemmas, and even sometimes time travel, this may be the show for you. Number 6. Andromeda. Andromeda was created by Gene Roddenberry and debuted in the year 2000. It spanned 5 seasons with 110 episodes. The show follows the crew of the Andromeda Ascendant on their journey to rebuild the now defunct and fallen government known as the System's Commonwealth. Whether you like AI-controlled starships, holograms, androids, or tons of alien races and space battles, this may be worth taking a look at. I do, however, have one caveat when it comes to Andromeda, and that's the final season. I really think they jumped the shark in the final season, and it has very little to do with the rest of the series, in my opinion. Coming in at number 5, Sliders. Sliders debuted in 1995 and was created by Robert K. Weiss and Tracy Torme. The series went for 5 seasons, containing 88 total episodes, and was set in the current day. The viewer follows a group of friends and strangers on a journey through the multiverse. It is more episodic than serial, but with the overall plot of trying to get home as they have become lost in the infinite worlds that comprise the multiverse. The show deals a lot with physics, moral and ethical dilemmas, aliens, doppelgangers, even of the opposite sex, clones, and so many other topics I could go on for literally ages. You may have noticed at this point that a lot of the entries on this list come with caveats, and Sliders is no exception. They did their fair amount of character changing in this show, including the replacement of the main actors in the last few seasons, even going so far as to not replace a character, but just replace the actor of the main character, which is ludicrous at best. Number 4. Farscape. Another entry by Rock S. O'Bannon, debuted in 1999. The series contained 4 seasons and 88 episodes, along with a 4-hour miniseries called The Peacekeeper Wars. It is of note that Firefly was not the first series to be quote-unquote saved by the fans. Farscape's I Am Farscape campaign is what actually spawned its 4-hour miniseries conclusion. The show follows the journey of John Crichton, an astronaut from Earth that gets lost in deep space and adopted by a group of renegade prisoners, and his journey to return to Earth. It features many varying alien species, tons of action, space battles, war, as well as moral and ethical quandaries unparalleled by any previous contestants on this list. Number 3. Battlestar Galactica. Created by Glenn A. Larson, debuting in 1978, Battlestar Galactica has spawned technically 5 series spanning 130 plus or minus episodes and 3 plus or minus movies. The show takes us back in time and follows an intergalactic civilization of humans and the creation and rise to power of the artificial life forms known as Cylons, who would eventually set out to destroy the civilization that had created them. From large space battles to the most of intense and dark moral dilemmas to love stories, Battlestar Galactica is truly sophisticated and one of the finest space operas in its form. Everything from religion to war ethics is covered across the franchise, and it remains one of the sci-fi franchise greats to this day, in spite of its rocky beginnings. Number 2. StarGate. StarGate debuted on the big screen in 1994 and was revised into 4 different series: StarGate SG-1, StarGate Atlantis, StarGate Universe, and the little-known animated series Stargate Infinity, as well as the miniseries Stargate Origins. The franchise consisted of 18 seasons containing more than 350 episodes and 3 total movies at the time of the creation of this video. The franchise spans from 35 million or more years ago to a few decades in our future. It contains time travel, space battles, moral and ethical dilemmas, history, mythology, and the travel to other planets via wormholes. Oh, and let's not forget, in SG-1, we get MacGyver with a gun for most of the series. Before I get to my top franchise, I figured we'd throw in some honorable mentions before you crucify me. Sarah Connor Chronicles, Dollhouse, Fringe, V, and finally, Firefly. And finally, coming in at number 1 is Gene Roddenberry's epic franchise universe known only as Star Trek. Star Trek debuted in 1966 and covers 7 series. Well, 6 if we throw out the plagiaristic ball of garbage known as Discovery. The franchise, for better or worse, contains over 700 episodes spanning more than 30 seasons and 13 total movies. Star Trek began its life as the original series, with Kirk and Spock aboard the Starship Enterprise, and was later revised in The Next Generation, Deep Space Nine, Voyager, and then Enterprise, as well as a short animated series. There is something for everyone inside of the Star Trek universe, from individual rights debates, to large, glorious battles and wars, to love stories, to ethical dilemmas, aliens, alternate realities, time travel. Literally, you name it, and Star Trek has you covered. Star Trek has long been a dialogue to exchange thoughts on past, current, and future societal problems, and often paralleled current events. And those are my top 10 favorite sci-fi TV franchises of all time. If you agreed or disagreed with any of my selection, please leave a comment below. I want this channel to be a discussion, just as one of its great influencers are, Lore Reloaded. So, if you liked this video, click like. Of course, if you hated it, then hit dislike. Also, if you want to see more content, then subscribe. Have a great day, and I'll see you out there.